Welcome to Forever Exiled. I'm Justin, AK Tags.
And I'm Tyler, Wrecker of Days.
And this might be an episode 261 if it works. We'll see. Who knows? Episode
Technical difficulties.
Yes, we did. Do you know what has been impressive, though? The last number of episodes, we have started our recordings like bang on with each other.
At the same time?
In sync. The two of us.
It's like a tractor beam just sucks us right in.
It's really, really good. Episode 261. Big shout out to our patrons, everybody who resubbed up this week. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. And to all of our patrons, thank you for your support and donators and everything. It's really appreciated. Patreon gets you access to After Dark. It's our podcast after the podcast. It's just a continuation of us. And you get a thank you card and a sticker. So
hashtag worth
deal.
it.
Yeah, we appreciate it. I got all the new cards. I got to drop them off to you. We got new cards,
Thanks.
so we're ready for it. How was your week, bud?
I had a good week, man. The drugs are still knocking me out, and so now we're past the reseeding area. We had a nice window this season to. I forgot to turn my phone off. D&D.
I love it. It's not a Forever Exiled episode without a.
It wouldn't have mattered. It's my wife.
So it was coming through no matter what. It was a sweet Instagram reel. That's what she was saying in After Dark. That it's usually what it is.
Just a minute. Need to confirm something.
Yeah, you do.
My week was fine. The drugs are still kicking me. Well,
are they doing anything to help you?
Not really.
Oh, okay.
I needed to walk. I had a checkup on my nose for my nose surgery. It's been about 8 months. And so I walked. It's about 45 minutes there, my pace, 45 minutes back. Because, transit's that good that I'd rather walk. And
hills too.
Yes, very hilly on that route. And unfortunately, I didn't notice a difference with the pain. It was still there, still very sore. Those types of walks, there's very specific pains I get, and I definitely got them. And I've just been too tired. Like, I'm not vacuuming, I'm not mowing the lawn. I've been waiting. I've been talking all summer about couldn't wait to use up my grass seed in the fall because I didn't want my grass seed to get too old. This week was the time to do it too. This last 2 weeks were great, and I would have barely needed to keep them moist myself. The rain would have done it for me, and now it's too cold at night to do it. So it was I don't know, it's just exhausted. But I mean, life's great. There's nothing to complain about. Erin and her job, the kids, school's
going good.
Yeah. And I mean, my health's fine. Like, I still have the same health issues, but nothing's
it's
new.
Not worse.
You know what I mean? Well, yeah, it's the standard typical slow degradation of life and health, and so everything's great. I'd feel quite guilty if I was to complain about something, but I'm not looking forward to the next month and a half on these pills.
Is that how long they're going to try it for? To see?
Well, that's how long if I was to finish the bottle. Yeah. So it's a lot of nothing happening, and things need to get done around the house. So
are you working with a doctor to figure out like what's their plan for you? I assume they're not going let's wait a month and a half and see.
The best way to try any drug is to give it its full duration.
That's a pretty long duration.
It is, especially because it's fatigue. It's not like I'm tolerating something uncomfortable. I just can't get things done. So I don't know if I'm going to stick with it or not. But yeah, so that's it. That's it. But things are good. Played a lot of PoE this week, which was really nice. So
did you?
Yeah, we'll get into that later. How was your week?
All right, fine. My week was good. I picked up my wife. She's back, which is awesome.
The house immediately just stopped burning the second she walked in the house.
No, it was fun. We went and picked her up at the airport, and what else happened this week? So we picked her up.
How was your trip?
Her trip was great. She had an awesome time in Chile. Really, really
You're
good.
not saying it right.
Chile. My kids get mad because kids at school call it chili. Even I give the Chile, I don't say chili anymore. I'm not allowed to. So, but yeah, no, she had a really good time. But it's funny. Hey, so I pick her up on the Monday. Picked her up on Monday. It was a holiday here in Canada. On the Sunday, so the day before, I was in the bathroom in the morning in our bathroom, and I was like, So like 6 months ago, probably 5 or 6 months ago, the faucet on her sink, like it's a two sink, like side by side sinks. The faucet on her sink stopped working, and it was the faucet. It wasn't anything else. And I was like, we're gonna have to replace it, but pick two that you like, and we'll put new faucets in there. But she just never did, and so we were sharing the same sink. And I was like, I should fix her faucet for her for when she comes back. Is that what
you were building? Was that the building surprise?
No, the building surprise was the whole laundry room, right? That laundry area was the whole thing that I had ripped out previously and then built and put in new.
I didn't know any of that.
I don't. Oh, maybe I didn't say that. That's probably right.
No,
she did listen to it because she sent me messages. She's like, cleaners? Question mark. I was like, yeah, cleaners.
Building stuff.
You knew I was going to do that. She didn't. I guess I didn't say anything about building stuff. But I did say something else that she messaged me about, but it was fine. But yeah, so we took I just decided that she's always wanted space to hang clothes in our laundry area, and our laundry area is all it's massive cabinets in there. So I ripped those all out, and I built in new cabinets, and then built in a section in the middle that has multiple hangers for her to hang clothes from.
Yeah.
Terrible decision, but it looks good and she loves it, which is great.
What made it terrible? Just the effort that it took?
It killed my back, man. It like wiped me out. I had help from my dad and from Logan, but it crushed my back. But I also was like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to finish it. I'm a good husband.
Good for you.
And then
the house is burning, but check out your laundry room.
That's right. I had to like patch all the walls because this was built when the house was built. All the cabinetry was like built-in cabinetry. So I had to patch all the walls and then paint. And she had a very unique color in there, and it's really nice. It's like this really dark, deep purple. It's really, really nice. When we redid the laundry area, we redid all the flooring, put in new tiles, everything. So I was trying to match it, and I had found what I thought was the one, but then I go, to Home Depot as you do. And I was like, this is the color that she used, because I had the actual like swatch. But then there's like 7 kinds of paint. You know what I mean? Like there's like satin, semi-gloss, blah, blah, blah. I was like, just give me the one in the middle. Like that's probably the most common one. Go to paint over the area. Nope. Dries, and Sophia right away is like, Dad, that doesn't match. I'm like, I'm aware. So I had to paint the whole thing. But anyway, it turned out great. But yeah, on the Sunday before, I was like, I should fix her faucet for her. So I went to Home Depot with Sophia, and she helped me pick out 2 new faucets. And then I started the process, which was brutal and hard. And I've done faucets before, but this is this is original, built-in. We have a big vanity that's built into the bathroom. And I went to turn the cold water back on, and they're the old school, like twist ones, like you twist them forever to get them to turn. As soon as I open it back up, water starts coming through the valve, and I'm like, fudge. So I closed it up, and I called the buddy of mine that's a plumber. I was like, I have a problem. So thankfully he came out, helped me replace the valve, and everything's great now.
It's nice to have a plumber friend, because plumbing work never ends up just being the job you think it is.
No,
there's always something else that needs to get done.
And then for them to just walk in the door, like it's bucks just to come in the door. So yeah, thankfully he was able to come and help me with getting that solved. And you know what? It's really, really nice to have her back. And I was tired, man. Like I think after we picked her up, I got home and I was like, I have to lay down. And I went and fell asleep. I haven't had a nap in forever. I was just exhausted. And so she was hanging out with the kids downstairs, going over all the stuff she brought and gifts and everything. And I just went upstairs and passed out.
It's nice to have you home. See you tomorrow.
Bye. And then through the week, we've gone through the process of, do you remember in Home Alone when at the very end, the dad's I think it's Home Alone 2 when he gets the bill.
Yes.
And you just hear him like,
you spent $675 on room service.
Yeah, I went through that a few times this week. One of them was
with her or her with you.
Her to me. I don't care how much she spends out there, but she came back, and so in our kitchen, between the fridge and the built-in stove thing. Like we don't have a stove top, we got the whatever. Between there is some space and there's a counter. And I did it a little bit on purpose, but I go to Save On. That's where I shop. That's where I grocery shop. But I also was going to Save On quite often because I have to feed my kids. And now, granted, she left me with a lot of food, and a lot of that food is still there because some of it I don't know what to do with, or I don't want it. And, you know, I'm going to eat what I want to eat, and my kids are going to eat
these vegetables?
Well, like frozen meat, it's just so much work. I got to defrost it. Like, no, I'll just go and pick up some fresh meat. Anyway, there were a lot of Save On Foods bags, and those Save On food bags, I think they could charge $2 a bag, but last night she was counting. She's like, there. I don't remember how many there were. There
25.
were I think there were about 20 bags. And then she walked over to me. I just happened to notice this. She walked over to me yesterday and just dropped this bill. I should have thrown it out. I thought I had thrown everything out. I always make sure I throw things like this out. It's a bill from BC Liquor, and it's $221. And she puts it on the counter, and she's like, how come I don't see most of this stuff anymore? And I was like, because you left me with 3 children. But Sophia, thankfully, Sophia came to my rescue. She's like, Mom, we did have people over. Like, we had my mom over, and so they had a couple drinks. I was like, yeah, thank you, Sophia. Frick. Anyway, it was good though.
I love that. I absolutely love that. And the reference was perfect.
I just thought of it as I was about to say it, and that's what made me think of it, because of yesterday, her in the kitchen just like counting the bags, and she's like, you spent $40 something. I'm like, you can use them. Oh, she came into them. She had them in this huge ball. She comes into my office. She's like, what am I supposed to do with these? And I'm like, throw them out. Oh, that did not go well. That did not go well at all.
Oh man, I love how polar opposite you are to her with some of these things. It's hilarious.
So yeah, it's
there's
good.
a reason she just controls the house.
Oh yeah, it's definitely much better when she does. So we start watching. We're almost finished. What's the Rings of Power? We have 2 episodes left.
Excellent. We watched the last one last night because it just came out last night.
Yesterday,
I'm half liking it, half like absolutely hating it. But I didn't want any spoilers, right? It's a season finale yesterday, so we watched it last night. So let me know when you're up to date, and we'll
finish it this weekend. We'll probably finish them Saturday night. I love it because I don't care. I don't know the books. Like, we're reading it or we're watching it, and just, you know, we know some of the references to the movies, and it's fun seeing some of the whatever. You kind of get these ideas in your head of what they are. But I love I like big shows. I love when there's these huge worlds and these characters. And for me, because I don't know the books, I've read them in the past, but I don't remember them. Awesome. It's just entertainment for me. I did love seeing Tom Bombadil though, just because I just remember him from that's the only way I know him is from the game when you would throw him out and you'd hear him dance and then blow up and stuff. But yeah, it's just been for me, it's just fun to be back to being able to just chill on the couch, watch a couple of shows, and I didn't do that for the time that she was gone. So yeah, it's been good week, man.
Good.
Work's super busy, and I like when it is. And now that I have someone to help, it's a little less stressful with all the other stuff going on. My girls are back to dance, so that's good.
Welcome back, Christina. Welcome back. Can you hear how bubbly your husband is compared to the last few introductions of our episodes?
Right. Yep. Happy to have her back. What do we got this week in PoE?
Oh, that's great, man. Good for you. Nothing really, but
what the Lake of Calandra? What is this?
No, yeah. So there's 2 things. Let's talk about the relevant one first. Okay. The Path of Exile early access live stream announcement.
Early access. In about a month from now, we'll be doing a live stream.
It's the joke, which we all love.
Early access for Path of Exile 2 and how you'll be able to gain access. Okay.
It's an announcement of an announcement. There's no joke. It's just the announcement of announcement, which I love. And that's marketing. That's how it works. But we won't reveal too much yet. But we'd like to clarify that just like the Fall of Oriath, entry to early access will be gained by purchasing one of the new support packs containing a key. And these new support packs will be revealed during the live stream. So in 1 month from this post, which was September 30th,
Oh my God. So it's a long way away. Yeah.
Well, it's the end of October, which is just before Halloween, which is 2 weeks before their date, which they seem to be very married to. I mean, maybe this announcement will say March 15th. If it's delayed? Right? Oh, man. It's like, okay, listen, awful. We know Rockstar puts out good stuff when they do, but you don't have to copy everything.
No.
But anyway, right. And so they haven't said what the purchase price will be yet, whether it's, the $30 pack, $60 pack, $180 pack, whatever it is. Everything's always an American for us anyway. But our Discord was saying I think it was and I don't like that. I guess it doesn't matter because they're going to have a live stream. So maybe it's fine. But I was going to say, and I'm probably not going to agree myself after I say it. There's if you have an account that spent $480 or more,
they've said you get
the account for free. Yeah. So Jonathan said this, I think it was in Japan, when he was in Japan, he did an interview, and then it was translated or subtitled by some people. And so it was from that interview where he said the exact amount. Some people are saying it's $480 from like your whole life.
It says lifetime on here. In their thing, it says players that meet a threshold of lifetime support in Path of Exile 1 will also be invited to participate in early access without needing to purchase a key.
Because I've read some stuff where it was just since Fall of Oriath, so other people have been mistyping. Okay, so that's fine. So I was going to say at the beginning, I don't like that information comes from a random video from someone else. Sure. Even if it's a big interview, it's not specifically from GGG in an announcement. But that being said, they haven't had their official announcement yet. So the only consequence for me not watching every detail is not knowing ahead of time. You know what I mean? It's not like they expect me to know this. So I'm already disagreeing with myself. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh man, how do they know this? Oh, from this interview or that interview or that interview. Oh, that sucks. But they're having an official announcement and it hasn't happened yet. So I can just calm my tits and just wait a little bit, 2 more weeks. And then we have all the information we need. And I'm really excited, man. Like November 15th, if they stick to that date, which hopefully they do, like that's 2 weeks after the announcement. That's like having the live stream announcement 2 weeks beforehand. And I mean, lots has changed since their original beta announcement with their hopes and dreams. People have been saying that they're only the 8 classes that are available now are the classes that there's going to be. They're not going to have all the ascendancies. It might only be the first 3 acts, that kind of stuff. But I'm still really excited to just really get used to the game.
Totally.
Provide feedback. I'm really curious what their expectation is. GGG's expectation is of the player base. Like, yes, you're getting your income from the beta. Is it just server testing? Do you want bugs? Do you only want severe bugs? Do you want... That's my assumption. That's my hope. Like, I'm really excited to actually sit down at the keyboard and give my 2 cents and... hopefully be heard. Hopefully they pay attention to their website just as much as Reddit. Hopefully they don't pay attention to Reddit. I don't know what it is, but I'm excited for the process, to be a part of that process, but also be a part of the changes, knowing that this is their permanent game going forward. It's nice. You know what I mean? It's not like, I have a few bugs that are very serious bugs, and I'm not saying it because they're my bugs. They're just issues that I know are serious with Path of Exile 1, some console specific, some not. And they've been around for years and years. And it's just when you have that happening in Path of Exile 1, it makes you not want to care. I mean, there's another bug, but who cares? Maybe it's going to I've had some bugs get fixed the very next patch, which is great. But that's because I write a lot of bugs. But writing a bug report most of the time takes half an hour of your time. And I'd rather do something else with that time. I'm busy, right? So when it comes to Path of Exile 1, yes, I've had some bug reports that get fixed right away, but because there's enough that just, it seems like they get lost in the process because they seem serious to me. When they've been around for years, it kind of disheartens you. But when it's Path of Exile 2 and it's the beta, they're just like all hands on deck and everybody's looking at every kind of issue. And even if you have a bug, the next patch that comes out, the next reset, it could be completely fixed, even if it wasn't specifically intended to be fixed. So I am really looking forward to all of the above regarding that. And I mean, it's already, what are we at? The beginning of October, 6 weeks away.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be fun to see what they do, see how their announcement goes, see what they're actually going to be launching with for the 15th, because I assume we'll find that out probably on that live stream. For me, I just want to play it. I mean, I'm not the type of person that tends to write bugs unless there's something that really breaks the game where I can't play the game. And to me, I would imagine that's probably a bigger concern to them versus somebody, you know, if you're feeling like you're not strong or this, you know, whatever, this isn't working the way I feel it should. I think there's a difference between intended and, you know, crashing. I think those two things are probably things they're paying a pretty high amount of attention to. And I hope that people go into it understanding that they are playing a beta and that they will not have had the ability to test at the scale that they're going to launch on the 15th. So there are going to be issues for sure. There just will be. So, I mean, we've played it before and we found small issues, but you're talking about a room of 40 people. You're going to be talking about a massive amount of people who are going to be playing this beta. Huge. Yeah. Their numbers are going to be incredibly high. So
with how, I mean, we've always criticized because to us, they market backwards to the way that we would if we were to run the company, right? Not me, saying it's necessarily wrong. Oh, really? Okay, I thought we were on the same page.
The higher price stuff.
Oh, well, I meant more the length of time it's taken, like marketing for something that's 20. Whoa, sorry, almost. I'm so into this. I'm talking with my hands, and my coffee mug does not think that's a good idea. It's telling me to chill out a bit. But you know, sorry, I should say, it's taken so long for PoE 2 to come out. I'm just going to split it 50-50 because we don't know, but
all right. Okay.
Half of that is GGG being GGG. You know what I mean? Like just trying to catch up to their own estimates and changing things and this, that, and another thing. And that's something that we've criticized them for in the past, right? Just having such big ideas that they don't have time for, keeping the game balanced in a way like it's their choice to have 600 gems in the game. You know what I mean? It's that kind of stuff. But we've also complimented them on take as much time as you need. If you come up with a rad idea that changes everything, like they're excited for this WASD and you have to change everything, or you have to change this one mechanic about this, and so you got to change all your boss battles, like fine, like take your time. We're fine with that postponement. So, you know, there's that 50-50 split for GGG's 50%, but then there's also, you add the complications of COVID that does have long lasting effects, and how all that's changed and how companies interact, all the outsourcing that they've been doing, right? So, but you add that whole element together of how long, I mean, 2019, we're talking 5 years of how long this has been in our hearts, and even in like the casual players that still compare this to like the most casual of ARPGs. You know what I mean? Like there's just, you have so many people that are hyped for PoE 2. It wouldn't surprise me if this beta gets higher numbers than the official release. I think there's going to be so many people that just treat this like an official release, even though it's a paid release, just because it's people anybody can finally play it. And it's been 5 years.
I think they'll see higher numbers than their leagues have probably ever seen. I mean, I still think that the full release is going to be massive numbers, assuming that the beta goes fine, just because of the free to play side of it. But I mean, I think it's going to be really hard unless they set that key price to really high. I think it's going to be really hard for any normal Path of Exile player to not try it.
Right. Even if you're the cheapest player that's ever existed, that $60,
which we don't know if it'll be 60 or 30, because they've done some at 30. And that, I mean, if I look back to their beta in the past when they did PoE 1, their base level, I think actually back then was $15. It might have even been lower to get into it. Now it's not going to be that low for PoE 2, but this is exciting. This to me is the point where you could start annoying me with marketing stuff. And it actually kind of funny because I feel like they probably won't be doing too much because they want to be saving it for the announcement, which is that's great. Like, let me see it all at once. Let me sit down for whenever they do their hour-long presentation, and it's all going to be PoE 2, and that will be great because it will be 2 weeks away from being able to to play it. So
I hope they're clear with what will be included. You know what I mean? I really hope. Well, there's definitely going to be stuff they're guaranteeing to be in there, but I really hope there's not a lot of, and we hope for this and we hope for that. You know what I mean? Hopefully they have a very
to add as the beta goes. I'm fine with that, but I understand what you're saying. Like, we hope to have something for the release. Don't say that, but we hope to be adding. If you only have 8 of the 12 classes, how many are there supposed to be? 12?
Yeah,
9, whatever.
Eventually, there's going to be 12.
So if they say we're launching the beta with 8 and we hope to be adding the other 4 throughout the beta period, I don't care. That's fine. Let me play with 8. Don't release 12 if 4 of them are garbage or not done. You know what I mean? Like, you can't release one without having finished it, at least to the point where it's, I don't really want to play 8 classes without ascendancies. Like, I'm really hoping that ascendancies is a done thing. Just because that's such a big part of Path of Exile. So I hope that that's not the case, but also, like, you have to remember the way that ascendancies are supposed to unlock and grow and upgrade and get the additional stuff is through the acts. So,
and if they're only releasing 3 acts, right?
Yeah, it'll be fun to play regardless. But I would think that they are going to just tell us what they've got ready and that these are the things they hope to add. I can't imagine they go into it with a, over promising idea. That wouldn't be great, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Either way, we're going to be playing it.
Yeah. And for those that are disheartened by 3 acts, yes, 3 acts is 3 acts, but unless things have changed, and I haven't listened to every interview, but originally it was going to be 6 or 7 acts that was going to be the same duration as the 10 acts in Path of Exile 1, right?
Isn't that what it is?
Well, right. So if they only come out with 3 acts, now, sure, there's going to be people probably for streamer reasons, hey, be the first to see this boss, look at the final boss of Act 3. There's going to be people that push it and decide to sacrifice the new player experience for the sake of being the first person to do this, right? But most people are going to be taking their time, right? Exploring, figuring things out, chatting, listening to dialogue. It's going to be a long experience. And from Justin's and mine experience with Act 1, we
didn't even finish it.
We didn't finish it.
Nope.
And we are pretty sure that there were many side quests that we didn't touch, right? We were figuring out how the game functioned. Sure. But we were figuring out how the game functioned. And as a result, you get excited to go here and there and you're trying to be thorough, but then you see this. And then so you go and do that. And then you forget to go back and you go back and forth all over the place. And it's a lot of fun, but that'll be everybody's experience. And it'll take a lot longer for everybody to go. Like, you're not going to be flying through the first 3 acts like you would fly through the first 6 acts of Path of Exile 1. That's just not how a new player experience goes. So I think it'll be, as long as it's on the cheaper end, I think it's going to be completely worth it, even without the ascendancies. But I will be I think I'll be, ascendancies are...
It's a big part.
A huge part.
It literally is the character.
Both passive trees and loot. Like, ascendancies are huge.
3 acts. I'd be surprised if it only had the 3. Yeah, but I honestly don't care, because I would bet money that by the time I even get towards the end of Act 3, they'll be ready to release Act 4. I'm not going to be rushing through it. I'm not in a hurry to play it. I want to play the character, try different characters, see how the classes work. Like, that to me is the fun part, and I love going into it relatively blind. Like, we have played it
100%.
It's so blind. There's no online people that can say, do this build, here's the things that work. There's no meta, you kind of can't do anything wrong. You're figuring it out, and that to me is really fun. Like, I'm really excited for that part of it, just going in blind and playing. So
yeah. It's interesting because you say you're excited to play a whole bunch of different versions and styles of the game. I kind of am. I'm curious to see what suits me.
What works, you know what I
mean?
Sure.
So, I might play zombies the entire time for all I know, but I'm going to be looking at every other ascendancy or class and checking those out. For the 3 people that'll watch me broadcast on launch, I'm going to load the game, and yes, you and I are going to want to play co-op, but there's going to be a part
where we're
going
to be so over the all over. We're both going to be slow, but in completely different areas. And
The second that if that passive tree doesn't have like a fog of war, if you can just hit P, it is P on keyboard, right? I'm hoping controller support's available, but when I'm playing, as soon as I go, I'm like that first level up, I'm going to be in town. I'm not leveling up. I'm not allocating anything until I'm safe. And like my first hour is just looking at the passive tree. Mm-hmm. I'm going to be looking how they have it. Like, think of how much you can learn about the game just by seeing what's on the passive tree. Is our resists on the passive tree? Are they not, right? Because they're getting rid of life on the passive tree, so they said. But then, originally they were saying that support skill or support gems were going to modify your skill. They're not going to make them stronger or weaker in terms of damage. They were just simply going to modify your skills. But then when we were at the playtest, they were considering changing that completely. So maybe the passive tree has changed from the things that they've announced, but it'd be interesting to see is there just generic spell damage and attack damage? Is that changed because now defenses have changed, right? Apparently there's no more spell and attack defense. It's just generic for whether it's elemental or physical or whatever. So how is all that going to be? Like, you can learn so much about the game just from going, but then where's all my minion stuff? And is spiritual aid still on the tree? Where is it in comparison to the starting point? Are we all starting in the middle again because it looked like it? And oh man, that's going to be me for like the first hour and a half. So if you want to play co-op, enjoy looking at the tree for an hour and a half.
I'll play with you and chat with you, but
but I'm moving on.
I want to kill some stuff. So yeah, it's cool. I'm excited to see this. We've got a month 3 weeks until we get to watch their early access, and that's awesome. I love that there's I mean, it gives me time to also play WoW, do other things, not be so like concerned about the PoE timeline, because now I know where it is and know what's happening, and that to me is exciting. I'm really looking forward to PoE 2.
I know they don't want to, but I really hope they stick to the 3 leagues a year, the 4-month league. I just love it from a personal standpoint. The amount of time I put into the league, the amount of time I get to play standard, the amount of time that I get to sit down and watch shows, because I basically only play PoE in my and Age of Empires. That's all I do, and I like having that extra time for right. Yeah. It's a lot less pressure with my personal time. When it's
and so far they've done well with it. The league launches have been good. They've been stable. Maybe they haven't always been the best league, but it's the game itself has run great, which is awesome. So they'll be under a pretty big microscope if all of a sudden they swap back to the 3, because we've seen what they can do at 4. So when I say 3, I mean 3 months between versus 4 months between. Yeah. So cool. What is this development manifesto thing that you have here?
Right.
This looks old. Is this old?
It is. It's very old.
This is the character balance of in Path of Exile, Lake of Kalandra.
Right. Which was August 2nd, 2022. They haven't had a dev manifesto.
Oh, is that why you brought it up?
Oh, right. They haven't had a dev manifesto in over 2 years. And think about how many dramatic changes there have been.
Yeah, they posted that August, and then the only other thing they did was improving communication, the development manifesto in September.
So it's like, I like dev manifestos because they're explaining where they're coming from. I don't think dev manifestos are their way of making excuses or trying to appease. I think it's kind. Like, hey, listen, we're changing this mechanic and this is why. It doesn't mean, hey, we're excited for your feedback, and if you give us negative feedback, we'll change it back. Like, I just like the communication, and as a fan, knowing why the change is there, especially because Path of Exile 1 is absolutely brutal with telling the user anything about any mechanic or how anything functions in the game. So dev manifestos are nice, especially when it comes to kind of confirming wording on the wiki. It definitely helps wiki explainers word it in a way that makes sense for everybody, right? Because then they fully understand it too. So I giggle to myself every time I set up our notes that, nothing for dev manifestos every league. And it's now been over 2 years. So now it doesn't matter because we're moving on to a brand new game. The idea, as long as the beta has enough content, is that we're probably just going to stick with the content, right? The beta. and keep going and testing and looking at all these changes until the game's actually released. So it's not like it matters, but I love, like, the game has changed so much, Path of Exile 1 in 2 years, and there hasn't been any dev manifestos. Yeah.
Okay, you said you played?
Yeah, you haven't, I assume?
No.
What have you been playing? WoW, right?
When I've had time, I've been playing WoW. I haven't played a whole lot, but...
how's that going? I mean, it's been a couple months now. You were planning on only playing for 1 month?
Yeah, I actually guess I have had... Oh, I think I had 1 month for free. I got once because I had paid for a month, but then you get a month free when you bought the expansion. So I don't know when my time runs out. It's been fun. I play on... I think I was in the group that I'm with. They do the raiding stuff, which has been fun because it's small and a lot more chill. Like there's no, I remember back in the day when I used to play WoW, it was like people were super serious and whatever. They took it pretty heavy. The group
Leroy Jenkins wouldn't be famous if people were casual about it.
That's right. The people I play with are all like us. They're dudes in their 30s and 40s, girls as well, and everybody's got families and kids and, you know, real life and stuff. So I enjoy that type of play, you know, people that don't take it too seriously. So yeah, I have gotten to play a little bit. It's still fun. I am getting to the point now where I'm sometimes going like, there's nothing I really want to do in it, but I do like when I'm doing some of the tougher stuff with people. I've been playing with Nathan and Josh, and they both suck, but
obviously
Josh is a turd. But yeah,
just like when he races.
Yeah. He likes to mock. And yeah, but it's been fun. It's been a lot of fun doing some of the stuff. Some of the content is fun. They have this thing called Mythics where you're constantly progressing. It's called the Key, and the Key is the same area, but it gets harder and harder as you go up in difficulty in these keys. I really like that. I like the challenge of working with just a group of 5, and especially if you're playing with 5 like people you get along with really well. It's a lot of fun, but I don't have a ton of time, and everybody else is on weird schedules too like that, so I don't get to do it that often. But yeah, it's fun. They did a good job with their expansion. It's been fun. It's been chill, and when I get time, I like to hop on there and play, but that hasn't been. I try and go on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Those are the 2 days I try and hop on because that's when they do their raids. But since Christina's gotten back, it's turned into a mocking now because I'm like, I want to get on. It's 6 o'clock, and she's like, we're eating dinner. I'm like, well, enjoy. I'm gonna go play. That happened one time, and then she didn't let it go. So I showed up late the next time. But no, it's been fun.
Good boy, just good boy.
How was your week though? You played?
I did.
What are you playing? Are you playing on standard or?
I'm actually all over the place. I played some League on PC. I was in the mood for the Reaper build that I have and want to try some stuff out and, you know, check things out with League and keep going. And so I've enjoyed that. I've been playing on standard, loaded up my zombie build. And remember earlier in the League, I was saying that survivability sucks for zombies. I just couldn't with the League content keep them. I've loaded up my zombies now, and they're untouchable.
Is this in standard, or is that a difference?
It is in standard, but I'm intentionally rolling like really stupid maps to try and crush them. And I have zombies of slamming on that one, so they don't have the 50% more life, and they're totally fine. They're not even coming close to dying. Well, it reminded me, and even when I make my posts for my builds, I remind people that even small changes are big changes in Path of Exile. And so when I load my zombies into my Reaper build for League content, there's some changes that aren't there. And
what do you think they are when you say those changes? What do you think those changes are? Are we talking gearing? Are we talking tree? Are we talking
tree and gems? The support gems were different. And a tiny bit of tree changes as well. And it's just one of those things where it's a reminder for me that it's important when I'm judging a build or a skill to make sure that every detail is intact before I judge it. And I mean, I went this whole League being disheartened with zombies, and sure, they still hit like wet noodles. Like they're still not strong, but in terms of survivability, I mean, the build that I have on standard is working. And like I still have old gear, which means none of my gear has like plus 100 life. You know what I mean? And my survivability is great. The zombie survivability is great. Everything's totally fine. And I'm trying to run the dumbest, hard smacking content that I can.
That new gear will drop for you now, right? In standard?
Yes,
because that wasn't it.
Yes. Yeah. Unfortunately, nothing's dropped. I'm still only getting plus 7 max life rolls, but I've actually been playing lots. Unfortunately, not half. I have, I would say 10 nodes into Delve on my Atlas passive tree. And there's a glitch on console. And unfortunately, I didn't report at the beginning of the league, but it was just, I loaded standard up for the first time a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. And there's a glitch in Delve where you can't zoom out.
What do you mean?
On the Delve map, where you see where you are and where you want to go, you can't zoom out. It's really zoomed in, and that sucks.
Is that on console, PC?
Just on console. I haven't.
Because I know on PC, I don't know if it's limited now. I remember there was a time where if you zoomed out too much, it just like crushed the performance of the PC.
Oh,
I don't know what happens with it, and so I wonder if that's why they limit how far and how much you can see, because they haven't figured out what to do with it. I can
see like 10 nodes, man. Like you can't explore with it. It's bad. So I've been ignoring Delve, unfortunately, because that's a great place to get stuff. But yeah, I've been having a great time. When I converted all my maps over from standard, from 320, what are we, 325? When I converted everything from 324 to 325 maps, it auto converts maps to a new map, but it changes which kind of map it is. What is it? Sepulture or whatever it is, where we have Dodri at the very end.
Yeah.
I got way more than 72 of those. So all I'm doing right now is going through all my extra sepultures right now and just.
Is it the version? I think that's the version where she puffs? Or
yeah, and she has the 3 totems at the end. Yeah. And so I'm going through that, and that's fine. It's a decent right hugging wall map. You hug the right wall, and then you do her trail, and then you have the portal. You come back to the right wall, and you go up the middle. So it's kind of very similar to Vault, where you do the circle and then go back up in the middle. Plateau and Atoll, I think, are like that too. And but I've been having a great time with it, and I've been swapping back and forth. So it's my zombie build, and the zombies are solid no matter which kind of zombies I'm doing. I still haven't touched Zombies of Falling or whatever that is yet. But then I'll throw in the normal Reaper, I'll throw in the triple Reaper, I'll throw in skeletons instead. I've just been trying them out and having fun, and it's really good. I can't decide what I like. Like sometimes I'm in the mood for my zombies and my specters and my golem, and then other times I'm just in the mood for no extra minions at all. So it's fun. It's been a lot of fun this week. My wife's been playing a lot too.
Oh,
which got me into theory crafting. So I updated her rolling magma build. She really likes the rolling magma build.
Love it.
Yeah, it is really cool.
Get the green MTX. It looks like poison.
Well, so she'll get whatever she gets, but she's been so into it that when she found out that there was a stash tab sale this week, she kind of gave me some big eyes and was like, hey,
she needs them.
Let's do it. That's right. So it was fun to create that because I don't do just a normal spellcasting build, and she's fine hitting a bunch of buttons all the time. And so it was interesting for me to actually create a build like that for her.
Yeah, that's cool.
It kind of made me want to make the build for myself. Right,
try it out.
But with the one button bit, yeah. So that was a lot of fun for me, and she's been playing. God
damn it, Aaron!
And so she's been on her spare time playing that, and so there's been some times where instead of doing my own thing, I'll just come by and sit next to her while she's playing, and helping her out with gear. But I need to make a specific filter for her. Like I was encouraging her to use my everyone filter, but it's still a lot too
much stuff. Yeah.
It is still a lot. And I mean, the filter's fine. It's just to learn gear.
Yeah, sure.
It's just taking her some time. So I think it'd be better to teach her what good mods are as opposed to, hey, out of all these different base types. I've tried to say like, hey, for gloves, you're looking for armor or energy shield. For your chest, you're looking for, armor evasion or energy shield evasion. But I think I'm just going to make her a filter anyway and help her progress a little bit faster. She made maps finally.
Nice.
And she was really excited about that. And then when she made
maps, play in the league, because I would have thought she'd like I think she would like the building the town type thing.
Sure, but the idea of restarting is
right.
discouraging, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she was playing on standard. So when she first started with this character, she started on League, right? She has some remove only tabs, but I mean, she's not going to want to restart. It's taken her this long to beat the campaign. She did her first couple maps, and the game didn't really describe the bonus objectives to her. So she did a few maps without doing the bonus objectives. And then it didn't really describe like the hideout thing. So she was just going back to Keurig and then going to that, like in the
so fun. She gets to do the hideouts now.
Right.
I guess you could always do the hideouts.
Yeah. But so after I explained the bonus objective, she was like, oh, okay. So she did a couple more maps, and then she's like, so what's the point? Like, what do you do? And I'm like,
you got it.
This, but you do it 160 times with
awesome.
Different maps, and then there's a whole bunch of different.
But there's more bosses
you can focus on. Yeah. And she's like, oh, okay. So I'm like, it's either this, the concept of that is the monotony is exciting for you because of gear, or it's not your kind of game.
You know, it's funny actually with her saying that. I don't think I've ever thought of it this way because we just play so much, but I think that was actually one of the benefits of the old Atlas, not passive, but the Atlas, because in the old Atlas, there was a direction to go. You were moving towards the center. You were trying to get the Shaper Guardians. Like there was no, I didn't like it overall in the end. I much prefer this, what it is now, but there you could understand the progress in the old Atlas, whereas now understanding it doesn't feel like there's purpose in progressing the Atlas. Aside from now they have the Atlas passive skill tree, which is great, but the old Atlas was really good for that, where you felt like there was this mini game you were playing with your maps of trying to get into the middle, and this is the direction and why you're going there. I can understand how now it would probably feel like, well, so I just go up, like I just fill this.
You spread out.
Right.
And then once she starts unlocking the stone, I actually forget what they're called, because the standards, so I don't actually, the void stones. That's going to be like, wait, now it's like all these maps are, you know what I mean? Like it is a lot, but it was kind of funny. She's like, so what's the point?
That's
like,
awesome.
just go and loot, dear. Go and loot. And it gets
that
more
was
difficult.
Diablo.
The
She played
bosses
Diablo.
get there. Yep. Yeah. And I use that reference as well. And I mean, that's like any looting game, right? I mean, it's just
I love that
so
she's
many
asking
people.
what the point, and she's like a Stardew Valley fanatic.
right. What's the point?
Awesome. Just
Excuse
grow
me.
more stuff.
Right. So
it's so funny.
But it's been fun. But I'm gonna revamp my filters a little bit, even though I'm not expecting to play Path of Exile 1 anymore. Other people might, and it's nice to have an up-to-date filter because GGG really sucks with their filter posts. I don't want to catch up 2 leagues at a time, so I'll still be keeping my filters up to date in case I do touch the Path of Exile 1, but also because my wife will be as well, and then people that might be playing. So don't know what I'll do with posted builds, but I enjoy the filter stuff, so I'll be revamping it a bit so that it's very specific. There's a couple things that I don't like with my filter right now that need to be fixed.
Sweet.
It's awesome.
I'm going to mark this just in case I have to take it out, but do you guys have any interest in 2 tickets to the BC Lions game tomorrow?
We would, but I don't know if it's going to work. What time?
The game is 7 o'clock, October 4th. And
that's today.
7 o'clock tonight.
I'm recording after dark tonight.
Does Aaron want them? She could only take one other person, but it is tonight. Yeah.
I would have to ask. She's not really a CFL person. It'd probably be better with one of our other buds. I would normally love it, and it would be fun to take her or one of the kids, but it's always tough just choosing one kid, so I would take her.
If new ones come up, I'll let you know. I did not realize it was for tonight, so you cannot go.
That's right. Yeah.
All right.
Thanks for the offer.
I knew that ahead of time. I just wanted to feel good about myself. Let's wrap this up. Forever Exiled 261. I'm Justin, AK Tags.
And I'm Tyler, Wrecker of Days.
Patrons will catch you in After Dark. Everybody else will see you next week in 262. If you're looking for more information, find it down below. We got a website, foreverexiled.com. We have a very fun Discord. Pop in there and say hi. Don't forget to hit that 5-star on Spotify or Apple if you want to. It's really nice. And then Patreon, other ways to support the podcast, you'll find them down below as well on the website.
Toodles.
It's a great one.